Hi, I'm Robert Corky, and today we're discussing quad level checkers. Perhaps I think it's a really fun game, and perhaps I've spent too much time over the years focusing on quad level chess and not enough on the checkers. And perhaps it should be a more famous game. It's a really interesting concept that works just on even perhaps even better on the board than the chess does. The chess is really good, but the checkers is just amazing. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It just to show you, the movements is of course exactly the same as checkers, except now you can move in the third dimension. You know, I was going to show a double piece capture right away, but let's say this person made a move like that, then all of a sudden this person would have to go like that, boom, boom, and he would lose these pieces. But of course, then um, this person would have a choice whether he was going to capture um, this piece with this guy or he captured this guy, and he has a choice. So it's going to capture here, like that, and decide. There's all kinds of possibilities, and I'll discuss a couple of variants too. One of the things I put in the notes on the checkers page is that um, the a person can decide whether they want to employ the change in distance rule. I put a couple of cautions in there. Obviously, I really kind of vote against allowing a move like this because just like I said, if you watch the YouTubes on the chess, you're not actually moving between you and your opponent. If you move a checker, anytime you move in checkers, a piece, you always move between you and the opponent. Um, in any move you make, or even capture you make, you always move between you and the opponent. So if you then allow these side diagonals on these horizontal axes, you all of a sudden allow movements that don't actually advance or retreat from the opponent. However, it's not as important in this game as it is in the chess version, but there are some cautions. Obviously, in checkers, you get down to the point where you only have maybe two kings against one, or three kings against one, and how hard is it even in regular checkers to corner a king? So therefore, it's a big caution to allow these side diagonals that don't advance or retreat when you're trying to corner a king. Then all of a sudden you might be setting yourself up for draws, and you may not want to do that. And so one variant that I propose that's quite interesting is to allow captures without the change in distance rule, but to not allow any side movements um, that break the change in distance rule. But it might be interesting to, and I put it as called the fun checkers variant, that it might be interesting to allow a movement like a capture like this. Might be just a fun variant to allow that, a capture like that breaks that rule, and therefore all of a sudden you'd have all these captures all over the place. Sometimes it would be not only go forward but sideways, and sometimes you might end up with it would take a lot of thought and forethought sometimes to make sure that you didn't get captured or all of a sudden lose 8 checkers when you were walking along, to not get bit. If you're playing one of these variants where you allowed the CID for capture, or the no CID for capture, rather. What I call the fun variant on the checklist page. But anyway, I would really propose to check out quad level chess, or really quad level checkers, and I will in the future make sure I put it in the Android app when I get around to it. Should be fun. But anyway, this certainly is a fun and exciting game to mess around with. If you're used to playing checkers, all of a sudden playing a game like this is really interesting. These movements, diagonal in any of these directions is the same. Just like I was teaching with another one of these classes in chess, the diagonals this way horizontally are actually the same vertically. So you just have to turn it around in your mind. So a piece here would then go here. So I just went up one board and over, up one board and over. Just making sure they always stay on their own color. Just like in regular checkers, they stay on the black squares. And you can play a great game.